With all the hype surrounding Android 21 in the lab coat, people are once again excited about Dragon Ball FighterZ, and recently here on the channel I made a community tier list based off characters you guys wanted to see in the game. So today I want to go ahead and bring you a wish list tier list based off characters I'd like to see in the game. So to kick off the list we got Turles here, and I'll be honest, I love playing this dude in Xenoverse, but I'm not really heavily invested into the character itself, and even though he's not explicitly stated to be a Goku, let's be honest, he's kind of just another Goku. Great Saiyan is, I mean, you know, alright, he's Great Saiyan. He's funny. It's kind of disrespectful with how lighthearted he is. Like, if you're having a good game and Great Saiyan starts posing on people, people are gonna, you know, they're gonna rage quit. They already rage quit with Vidal's counter level 1. So it would be kind of funny, but once again, not too heavily invested in the character. Oob or Majub wasn't really one of my favorite characters in GT. I didn't really like him all that much, to be honest. But he also wasn't annoying. Like, it's not one of those characters that I heavily dislike. That I really heavily dislike. So I wouldn't mind him being in the game. All right, look, Miras, it's a little rough for me to talk about this one because I don't want to spoil anything. But I know he's not gonna be in the game because the anime isn't even back yet and it still has to catch up before we see him in any games. But ignoring that, I think he'd be a good addition. Tapion is really cool. I think he's an awesome character. It's just, he's one of the more silent type, and I don't think he really brings much of anything to the game as far as unique dialogue and dramatic finishes. I feel like he's missing a lot of that potential. So while I like the character, I don't think he has a lot of interaction with other characters. So for that reason, he goes into this tier. Chi-Chi, I mean, I'll be honest, I like physical brawling characters. I like characters that rush down and get in your face, and I could totally see her being one of those archetypes. So I'd be down with her in the game. Goten and Trunks, they really haven't played much of a role in Dragon Ball Super, but they were kind of showing their potential in Dragon Ball Z in the Buu saga. And with their inclusion in the movie, it's possible we might see some more potential being shown from them. So I'd be excited to see them in the game. Dispo was a character I was never really too heavily invested on, and honestly I could say everything, you know, the same about Frost here. But these two characters always felt a little bit lackluster. They always felt a little bit like placeholders. Characters that really didn't have much of a purpose or consequence to exist. More like a tiny inconvenience for the heroes to overcome. So I'm not crazy about these guys. For the I would love to see them tier, we got Super Android 17. One of my favorite parts of GT, hands down. I loved Super Android 17. And that's all I gotta say for that. I mean, he was just so cool, man. Android 13, in all honesty, I can kind of put him down here and I'd be okay with that. But him punching Goku in the gonads is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. I love playing Bojack in Xenoverse. Bojack has some of the coolest moves in Xenoverse in my opinion, and he was overall just a really dope character in the film. So I'd like to see him. Then we move on to Cabba, and I feel like I'm in the minority here when I say I kind of like the other universe Saiyans. I think they're pretty cool. You know, as far as a character is concerned, Cabba's pretty cool. Now we got Dr. Gero. The ability to absorb energy from your opponent always appealed to me. I thought that was dope. Put it in the form of command grab, you can steal health, you can steal energy. That, to me, sounds like an awesome gameplay mechanic. I mean, you figure if Krillin can already heal himself with a sensu bean, and the Great Saiyan counter level 1 takes away some of your meter, those gameplay mechanics are already in the game, so why not go ahead and throw in a character like Dr. Gero who can also do those things? Honestly, I should have put her right next to Cabba because all of the same things apply, and we should also throw her here as well because I kind of forgot I didn't see her there. Morrow, while once again, I know we're probably not going to get him in the game because he hasn't been released in the anime yet. Personally, I like the more wizardly form of Morrow, but this is probably the form we'd end up getting. Now, Omega Shenron. I've never really been too much of a fan of the actual character himself, but the dude got robbed last season, man, and I feel like he'd be good for the game as well because he has such a diverse moveset to where you can really build something unique with that character. He can be really dope. Pan, I'll be honest, I just like Pan. I think she's cool. I like her character. I like the fact that she isn't abundantly strong. She didn't get some BS power boost in order to contend with the strongest warriors. She works for whatever power she gets, and she gets beat down for it too. And I like when a character actually has to work for their power, which is something that can't really be said for most of the Dragon Ball Supercast. Then we move on to Metacooler, and Metacooler, I always liked him. Once again, probably one of my top 5 favorite characters in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, so I'd like to see him in Dragon Ball FighterZ, especially if he's able to call other Metacoolers into the fight. Kind of something a little bit similar to Android 18, or maybe even Captain Ginyu. That would be pretty dope. But at the end of the day, he is another duplicate, so I'd be willing in order to put him down here. Then we got Morrow, one of my favorite villains in all of Dragon Ball Z. Such an underrated villain, man. The way he flew in there and killed Kibito and turned everyone else to stone like Krillin and Piccolo? You can't tell me your heart didn't sink when you saw that happen in the anime. Deborah got things done. Now we got Whis, one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Super. I love Whis' character, but we really don't get to see him fight all that much, so I'd be willing to put him lower on the tier list, to be honest, but just because I like the character so much, I'm putting him here. And now we got God of Destruction Toppo. What can I say? God of Destruction Toppo, while I may not enjoy Toppo's character, the God of Destruction form is really awesome. And they could even have unique dialogue options with Jiren, Goku, and Vegeta, and a potential dramatic finish with Blue Vegeta. On that note, we also have Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, and I put him here because he is really similar to the Blue Vegeta we already have, with the exception that he can have a couple of moves that translate from Majin Vegeta in the form of Final Explosion. But other than that, it's really just a deeper royal blue for hair. So I'm not really all that thrilled about this form, especially seeing as it looks like it's going to the wayside. If you're following the manga, you know why. So it looks like this is going to be a form that we pretty much never see again. Now for the no please, the characters I would hate to see in this game. And this tier is here specifically for one person and one person only. Can you guess who it is? Good old Ribrianne. I hate that character. There isn't a character in anime I dislike more than Ribrianne. And now for the top tier. Yes, please, the characters that are an absolute must. And I feel like we're gonna have a lot of overlap here. I mean, I guess you can pretty much already see who might be there. Now, I guess this is pretty close to what my Season 4 wish list would end up looking like, but not 100% exactly. Regardless, Raditz is at the top of the list. I really want this character in the game, alright? If I get one character, please let it be Raditz. I love this character. I know he wasn't all that strong. I know he wasn't in the anime for all that long, but the dude is Goku's brother. He set everything in motion. He's the reason Piccolo raised Gohan and they have that bond that they have. If it wasn't for Raditz, we wouldn't be getting the new movie with Gohan and Piccolo being the major stars of it. It's also the reason why Vegeta ended up coming to Earth. And I love Vegeta. It's also why Nappa's there as well, and Nappa's my favorite character in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So Raditz is really the linchpin of all the things that happened in this story. Without him, we don't have anything. From there we got Majin Vegeta, and he's an absolute must. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of duplicates being in the game, especially if they're really similar to one another. I feel like it's a waste of space when that happened. But if, and I mean if, the character's extremely different and unique, then I'm down for a duplicate to be in the game, and I feel like they would do that for Majin Vegeta. He's got quite the moveset. The guy's done a lot of stuff with his fight against Goku, and he brings a lot of interaction to the table, with not only Goku, some smack talk to Gohan, I could see Trunks even having a couple of lines, and a dramatic finish with Fat Boo. Please, man, he's gotta get in the game for that alone. Super Boo is another must, one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball Z. Personally, I liked Evil Boo the most, but Super Boo is probably one of my favorite forms. And with this, I'm including Buhan, right? Because, I mean, the debate is out there as to whether Super Boo or Buhan would be better. So I kind of just culminated them into one, and I feel like they could bring a really unique moveset to the game. When I see a new character coming to Dragon Ball FighterZ, that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something unique, something new, a different twist on the gameplay mechanics we currently have. And that's also why Future Gohan is here. Because, well, everyone's got two arms, and Future Gohan, my boy's got one. I truly feel like Future Gohan is the Gohan that we all deserved. The Gohan we wanted Teen Gohan to grow up into. But instead we got the nerdy Gohan that got shot by Frieza one time and pretty much died. Granted, the new movie might go ahead and change things, but that's yet to be seen. Now, Pycon, I think the dude just fits right into the Dragon Ball FighterZ roster. With his really bombastic moves, his over-the-top, super flashy, beautiful for animation moveset that he already has would look beautifully translated into this game. Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, and Goku. These are some of the dopest forms of Goku and Vegeta, and they do have some new moves, but their character models are already in the game. Like, you might as well just give it a moveset. And like I said, while I'm not the craziest for duplicates being in the game, if they're different enough, if they're unique enough, then I'm 100% down. Now, Hercule is one of those characters that's really gonna lean heavily on me enjoying a unique moveset, something new to the table, and I think Hercule can do that. Given his really over-the-top personality, they can do a lot of funny stuff with his moveset and make him super unique. Something more like Master Roshi would, where they really took their opportunity to have a good time and experiment with Master Roshi. They can do the same with Hercule. And even if I don't necessarily play him, he'd be a lot of fun to block him. Mira and Toa. So what I say about these two are gonna pretty much go hand in hand with one another, but I really enjoy these two characters. I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse is undoubtedly a huge success, and if Android 21 was able to make it to the other games and media, then why not bring these two into Dragon Ball FighterZ? I think their spot is definitely worth it, and they're unique enough as well. Granted, this guy right here tends to just, you know, get really strong and punch people in the face, but she's a little bit more methodical than that. Granola's gonna suffer from the same thing as people like Miris and Morrow. I know they're not part of the anime just yet, but the guy's kinda sick. I don't really want to get into too much because I don't want to spoil anything. And then we got Super Saiyan Goku, and then we got God Goku and Vegeta. I'll be honest, I'd much rather see a different form of Vegeta, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I mean, then you're in on it, you know? Once again, I don't want to spoil things. I'm sorry. But the God forms were some of my favorite. I really like the more sleek aesthetic to the form, with the deep red hair and eyes. I think it's really, really sick, and some of the abilities that Goku has shown in this form are really cool. Now, Bergamo, I'm not the biggest fan of the character himself. He doesn't necessarily excite me, but the fact that you can give this dude some of the most unique moves in the game really solidifies his spot in the top tier, if you ask me. Being able to call his brothers in for attacks can lead to some really nasty combos that I feel would be really impressive and awesome to watch in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I think that just about wraps up the list, so guys, let me know what DLC characters you'd like to see come in Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 4. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, it helps the channel out a bunch. And subscribe if you're new here, we upload videos every single day, without fail. Like these ones on your screen now, you can go ahead and check out. But with that said, I'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.